Okay, it says that I'm live. Hopefully the light is somewhat decent. Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. It's your rich auntie, aka TIK Guidance. And on this channel, I'm here to suggest and advise content as a neuropathic physician. So with that being said, I'm not here to force you guys or to change your beliefs or challenge your beliefs. I'm just here to educate and inform the collective by using natural resources, by using educational purposes, what I've gone through from my personal experiences, and as a holistic healer. So it is currently 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a little bit after 11, so good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome back. I'm not going to be on here too long. I just wanted to give a big shout out to all of the women in the world really quickly. If you guys see me looking away, I'm looking at my phone, but I want to give a big shout out to all of the women in the world. Happy Women's History Month. It is a new month, it is a new day, and it's a new year. So, to all of the women, and even to the men, but this is not about you, man. This is about the women. I wanted to come on here and just let you guys know that I am very grateful, and I gave a shout out to all of the women that I know personally, including myself as your rich auntie, as a neuropathic physician. I've been on YouTube since 2019. I started in 2019 when I was 22 years old, and I am now 26. And in real life, for those of you who don't know, I run my own personal business. I've been running my business, and I also do YouTube. So I just wanted to say congratulations to all of everybody who has been working on themselves, healing themselves, and especially to all of the women. Like I said, it's Women History Month. So if you're a woman, shout out to you. Like, I love us. Everyone knows that women give life. So don't be out here being a hater. And that's what I really just want to come on here. Like, as you're elevating, as you're loving yourself, as you're healing yourself, you cannot be successful and miserable at the same time. So as you are learning to appreciate yourself, as you're pouring into yourself, continue to show up for yourself, continue to love yourself, continue to be patient with yourself, and support yourself. When you support yourself, you can clap for other people. So, like, this is really just for all of the women. I understand it's a new month. It's also a new year. So as this month continues to move forward, for those of you who are returning, like, continue to take each day for what it is. Continue to be grateful. Continue to be patient with yourself, and know that you're doing everything in your power to do what works for you. And the most important thing when it comes to, you know, just being a woman is knowing that you're gonna constantly go through things. And no, I'm not biased. I'm not gonna just not disregard the men, but specifically this video is for the women. So understand that to all the beautiful women out there in the world, you are loved and you are appreciated. And as you are, like I said, finding yourself, loving yourself, and doing what works for you, continue to be patient with yourself. You guys, I'm smacking on this gum. Hold on. But I'm just extremely grateful for you all. Extremely grateful. And as I'm smacking on this gum, let me go ahead and upload this thumbnail for you. Hold on. Let me upload the thumbnail. But it's a new month. So as this month and every other month, let me see. My bad, you guys. I'm trying to upload the thumbnail. Usually I have no problem uploading it while I'm on live, but it's not showing up. I may have to upload the thumbnail afterwards. Let's see. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have to upload the thumbnail afterwards. But for those of you who come in and out the chat, I have put my personal page, as you guys can see. I just, like I said, I'm just grateful for everybody. I'm excited for this month. I'm excited for this year. As every single day continues to move forward, so are you. And like I said, for those of you who are returning, I'm just very grateful for everybody and for the people who have been coming along the journey. I want you all to know that, like I said, YouTube is not going to go nowhere. YouTube is not going to go nowhere. YouTube has been on the internet and it's going to continue to be on the internet. And just knowing that as time goes on, so will you. Like, just because you're going through certain things and moments in your life, that it's not going to last forever. And as this month continues to move forward and as this year continues to show up and show out, just learning to be grateful and taking each day for what it is, because you have to have the time and energy. And the most important thing when it comes to healing, and that I've learned within the last couple of years of my life and what I've gone through and where I am now in 2023 at the age of 26, is just expressing gratitude, being grateful for everything and everybody in my life, and knowing that life is about living. So as you live your life, you're going to outgrow people, places, and things. It's not a bad or a good thing. It's just an experience. And the more you're able to understand what you like, what you want, what you don't want, what you can and cannot do for yourself, the more you're able to take action, the more you learn to take each day for what it is, and the more you will realize what is for you and what's not. And as you guys can see, I'm currently brushing my hair. I recently did it. I would just recommend, though, when you do your own hair like this, as you guys can see, I just did something quick because you guys know I'm not a professional hairstylist. To do your leave out last, maybe towards the end of this month or when I retouch this up, because I'm going to use this hair. I'm going to cut this because this hair, you guys, is like very long. And there's nothing wrong with long hair. Like when I was 20 years old and like 18, 19, 20, when I was an it girl, like in my younger 20s, I used to wear long hair, long weave. But at the age of 26, this is way too much. It's too thick for me. So as I get older, I become more classier and I become the woman that I'm meant to be. So with all of that being said, life is just an experience, and I'm just very fortunate to be alive, you guys. For those of you who are returning, like I said, I'm just very grateful that you all are living your best life and healing yourself and learning to appreciate yourself, and knowing that, just once again, that as you go through life, every day is a new day, and that the goal in life is to get to where you need to be and do what works for you. And you guys know I do not play when it comes to personal hygiene. That's why I'm literally flossing my teeth. I just ate my dinner maybe 30 minutes ago. So, and I have all of my teeth except for my wisdom teeth. So, in order for me to avoid my teeth getting taken out, I gotta take care of them. I recently went to the dentist not too long ago, and my dentist explained that to me. He was just like, if you want your teeth to last for another 26 years, because I pray that I'm able to see the next 26 years of my life, at 52 or however old I'll be, then I have to start taking care of myself, including my teeth. And that's the same thing, ladies and men. Like, as this year continues to move forward and as we elevate, just take care of yourself. Like, I'm very grateful that I'm in the space that I am right now, and that the best part of healing is healing. Like, I need y'all to know that it's not gonna rain every single day. And it's only raining every single day because you don't have an umbrella or you don't have your proper tools. And I need you to know that just because it rains sometimes, that the sun will come out. It can't rain every single day. And just knowing that, once again, where I was when I started, who I was when I started this channel versus who I am now, and what I've experienced and what I've allowed and what I didn't allow. And the most important thing is not allowing yourself to be bitter or to be frustrated or to be angry. And that's one thing I'm not. Like, I could never hold a grudge even if I wanted to. Like, I can't stay mad at people. I don't have the energy, and I don't care. That, like, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't have the energy to hold a grudge, because when you hold grudges against people, that means that they have power over you and that they've affected you. Like me personally, I've gone through certain things, and because I know who I am and I know I had to go through things majority by myself, I took my time. Like that's what a lot of people here to realize. Like just because you take your time to do something doesn't mean it's not gonna get done. Or like just because you take your time, like you should want to take your time, and that's something that I've learned within the 26 years of my life. If I could suggest some advice to anybody younger or just anybody watching this, be patient. Why are you in a rush? Like you're going to die. Trigger warning. And I talk about death all the time because that's the tea. That's the truth. Like if people learn to be grateful, like one thing about me, it doesn't take much for me to be grateful because I recently stated this not too long ago on one of my platforms. I know what it's like to have $75,000, $1 million, and I know what it's like to have $0. Like materials don't define my worth. I know for some people it does, but me personally, I know what it's like to be privileged, and I know what it's like to be homeless. Like so, I don't, allow temporary things. Same thing with the people that come into your life. Like I've met so many people throughout my life, and to be honest, I haven't always been healed, or I haven't always been the best version of myself. So for me to say anybody's good or bad, or to hold a grudge, or to feel any type of way, life moves on. So it's like I always appreciate people, and I always tell you guys to, like I said, don't close off your heart and be a bad person just because other people may not have genuine intentions. Like I've never lost anything or anybody, you know? And I don't miss anything or anybody. Like I have experienced everything that I needed to. I learned what I learned, and in a great space. And I'm only going to continue to get older and live my life. And I need you all to know that, like, as you live your life, you're gonna get older, and that's the only reason why once again I talk about death and just learning to be grateful and just learn the lessons. You have to learn the lessons so you can receive your blessings. It's not always gonna, be trials and tribulations. And to be honest, you have to go through things in life to understand how it affects you. The only reason why people continue to suffer is because they haven't learned, or they're not, allowing themselves to feel and grieve. Like the most important thing when it comes to healing is grieving. And it took me some time, and there's no right or wrong way to grieve. So, like, as a neuropathic physician, as a holistic healer, as someone who's been running the business for a while now, and just, starting to get back onto YouTube again, you have to be patient with yourself. You have to go through things in life. You have to have good days. You have to have bad days. But just because you have a good or a bad day doesn't mean like it's the end of the world for you. And I've known, I'm speaking from personal experience as a doctor in real life. Before I even started YouTube, I've gone through things. I haven't gone through things my entire life. And to be honest, for me, what I had to realize is that certain attachments that I had in my life and the things that I valued, like I've always been very fortunate as a person. And of course, when people die or things change in your life is going to change. So is your perspective. But just because your life changes and your perspective changes doesn't mean that it's good or bad. Like, I want you all to be so content with just being in the moment that you realize any day could be good or bad. And that's like a person. Anybody could be good or bad. It's all about how you perceive it and how it makes you feel. Like, there have been times where I could have been a good or bad person to people in my life. Like how they choose to feel about me is I can't do anything about it. And my biggest thing that I just want to inform you all with is not allowing people, placing things that don't hold no value today in the present moment to affect you. Like, well, who I was at 22, where I was, like I was living in Colorado when I started this channel. At 21, I moved across the country by myself. And then I was living in Colorado, and then Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. You guys know Rich Auntie, I traveled a lot. I've been traveling since I was little. And then, going through trials and tribulations and, surrounding myself with, people, places, and things. And like, to be honest, as you elevate and heal yourself, like, I don't think, honestly, for me at least, I know everyone's not me. I've met a bad person. I feel like everybody in your life is going to teach you something. Like, even myself, like, I'm not going to live forever. I'm here to teach you all, to heal yourself, to love yourself, to keep your heart open, to forgive yourself and forgive other people. Now, of course, it's a process and it takes time. And once again, I'm not here to force you or rush you to do so. But if you want to elevate in life, you have to learn how to forgive yourself, most importantly. Like, you don't ever have to speak to people ever again. You know, you don't have to rekindle relationships, like, you don't have to do anything you don't wanna do, to be honest, like, that's the most important thing about life is just doing what works for you because it makes you happy, like, I don't have to go on my way to force relationships with people, I never have and I never will, and as you're continuing to heal yourself, as you're continuing to show up for yourself, you will realize that the people that are meant to be in your life in the moment, they're not gonna go nowhere. Because once again, everybody in your life is going to teach you something, whether it's negatively, positively. It's all about how you choose to internalize, the relationship. And for me, I'm grateful for every single person in my life. Every single person. Like, I've never had a problem with anybody, anything or anybody who had an issue with me. It's always been one-sided. I've only been in 4 or 5 fights my entire life, and that's because I had to defend myself. But other than me defending myself, people are always gonna have something to say about you. And you have to know, like, me personally, like I said, I never lost a real friend. Like, there's some people that I've outgrown, but even still, like, when people love you and have, support and respect for themselves, they're not gonna speak badly against you or go against you. Like, I never had to go against anybody. I never compared myself to anybody. Because to be honest, you guys, before I even heal myself, y'all know I did not like nobody. I did not I still, I'm learning to like people. Like, I have a love for people because I love myself, but I don't have the time and I never had the time and energy to worry about what other people had going on. And I want you all to know that too. Like, who cares that people are worried about you? Like, if they're not financing you, feeding you, educating you, doesn't matter. And I need you to know that, especially as this year and this month continues to go on. Like, I've never worried about anybody who couldn't do anything for me. And I never worried about anybody who didn't know me. Like, just because there's a lot of people that you're going to experience in your life, just because you experience people momentarily doesn't mean that they're meant for you and that they know you. Like, there are a lot of people in my life I only knew for a moment in time, and vice versa. And the more you realize what's working for you and what's not, you can welcome in the right people. Like, I'm in a space now where everything is working for me. Everything has always been working for me. It's just the fact that you have to grow when you're ready. Like, you can't force healing. You have to be able to heal when you want to heal. That's why me personally, I just been taking my time. I'm not in any rush. I'm the one who has to do all of the work. Like I said, as an entrepreneur, as a businesswoman, like I said, I've been running a business for a while. It's not, that I'm just now putting myself out there. And you have to understand that when people don't know you or people are not genuine, one, they can't pretend to be genuine or fake support you. And two, it shouldn't affect you. And that's one thing about me. I've never allowed anybody's personal opinion. I don't value people's opinions if I don't know you or if you don't know me personally. Like, and I need you to know that. So as you're healing yourself, as you're loving yourself, as you're pouring into yourself, the people that are meant to support you in your life, because people are only going to be in your life momentarily, anyways. That's why you don't want to get attached to them. But the people that are going to be in your life to support you when you need the support are going to be there. They're not going to question you. They're not going to make you feel insecure. They're not going to compare themselves to you. Like, the people that I'm meeting right now, I'm very grateful for them. I'm very grateful for all the relationships that I have now in my life. And you have to understand the past, the present, and future is all just a season. And because there are seasons in life, it's not going to be the winter time forever. It's not going to be the springtime forever. It's not even going to be the summertime forever. So it's just like, learn to live in the moment, learn to appreciate what's in front of you, and just move on. The best part of healing is healing. And like, what I mean by that is going through your trials and tribulations and not allowing it to affect you. Like, just like I said, who I was at 22, obviously, I could say from experience, I've made certain choices, and with choices come consequences. And looking at it now and being where I am at 26, like I made a lot of decisions because I was naive and because I was ignorant or because I felt some type of way. And I need you to know being depressed, anxiety is a feeling. And I literally was just talking about that on TikTok. So make sure you guys are following me there. But it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. And to me, honestly, if it's not your health or if it's not death, you have nothing to worry about in life. And that's where I'm at. Like I have no worries. You guys know I don't like to stress. I remember I stressed one time early in my 20s and I got a couple of GARY. Y'all can't see them because you know I got my hair done. But rich auntie, she getting up there in age, you know, so I don't need no gray hairs. No shade to the people that got gray hairs. But I'm only 26, okay? And I'm trying to look as young as forever and feel young forever. In order to look and feel young, like you just gotta live your life. So happy Women's History Month. I don't think I'm gonna be on here too long because I do have to go to bed. And once again, we have people, places, and things to do throughout the week. It is, I think, gonna be Thursday tomorrow. So just take each day for what it is. And happy Black History Month, you guys. I didn't even realize I was not on YouTube that much because once again, I have my own personal life and just the things that I've gone through. And when I was posting, I think 2020, 2021, I was posting a lot more just because one, as I was transitioning and the time and energy that was my schedule compared to now, I need you to know to all my genuine supporters on YouTube, you guys are like my OGs. Like you guys are the first, or I think YouTube and Instagram, or actually my Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, 2019 when it came to my business. Because like I said, I've been running a business in real life, okay? And then posting myself here on social media. Like, I love you guys so much, and I cannot wait to do, like I said, the giveaways. That's why if I'm not on YouTube, like I said, I have a real life. Even though I was posting, you know, when it was convenient for me. That's why you guys know I always look comfortable because it's good to be comfortable. Like, yes, you want to dress up. Yes, you want to do some things. But I was posting videos just for you guys to get the message. And throughout this year, I do plan on coming back to post daily uploads once again. As you're elevating, you have to prioritize what is prioritizing you. And YouTube, like I said, YouTube is not going to go nowhere. And if for those of you who understand the assignment, like you want to build a foundation, like YouTube is just one of the many foundations that I have for myself. And I'm grateful for those who have been supporting me, to all my genuine supporters. I know who really supports me. And you got to understand that too. Just because people clap for you, just because people tell you congratulations, you want to be around people that make you feel good. Like I'm in the space in my life where I just feel abundant, as I should. And you gotta understand because it's not gonna rain every single day, there's gold on the other side of the rainbow. You just have to allow it to rain and just go through what you're going through and keep going. Like just because you're going, like if you're going through something, that means you have to overcome it. Like me, I was going through a lot. I'm still going through a lot, but I'm not gonna stay there forever. Like my life isn't gonna end just because I had to reroute or I had a detour. And I need you to know that like the decisions that I made, like I said, being naive, being ignorant, or just being emotional, it is what it is. I don't feel no type of way. I didn't lose anything. Like I didn't even lose myself. Like when you're going through things momentarily, like you're just going through things momentarily. Like I need you all to know that just because you're going through things momentarily is not the end of the world. As long as you have breath in your body, that's why I tell you guys all the time to be grateful. Like I'm grateful I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful I have running water. I'm grateful I have clothes. I'm grateful that financially I'm stable. Emotionally I'm a lot better. You know, like heal. But most importantly, heal on your own time, heal when you need to, and heal because it's a choice. You guys know, like, healing is a choice. You don't have to suffer. And because I love, okay, now it's showing up, you guys. It's showing up now. Because I love and genuinely support and care about you all, I need you to know that. I need you all to know. Hold on. I thought it was showing up. Oops, excuse me. Is it showing up? Let me see. So for those of you who coming in out the chat, I'm just trying to see if I can upload this thumbnail. If not, I'm just gonna wait until it's done. Before, I know YouTube has been updated and I haven't been on here since my birthday. So, and you guys know YouTube is constantly changing, but before it would let me do it. I don't know why. And for those of you who are returning, make sure you guys are like, commenting, and sharing. But I don't even like, for example, I don't even have to say that. Like my genuine supporters, they support you. And you gotta understand that like people that really love themselves can love you. Like it's not hard to clap for people. You gotta understand the only reason why people are not gonna support you is because they don't support themselves. But a lot of people fail to realize you cannot be jealous and successful at the same time. It doesn't work like that. Like if you want to elevate or if you want certain things in life, but you can't clap for other people, how do you expect to get it? Especially if you're not doing anything about it. So, like me, I don't have to tell people to like, comment. I've never been that type of person to like, comment, subscribe. I say that because, like that's common, but it's like the people that are meant to like my videos and the people that do like my videos, like I shouldn't have to ask people to like, comment, and subscribe. I understand like that's a part of the niche, it's a part of the saying, but it's just like if people want to support you, they're going to support you. Like you have to be able to support yourself, like I said, and show love to yourself. Like, and I need you to know that, like, as you're healing yourself, as you're loving yourself, is literally nothing to worry about. And as you're healing yourself and you're loving yourself, you're making room for those things that are meant to be in your life. Like, it's so much that I'm going to be able to experience, and so much you're going to be able to experience this year. And every single year is like that. Because we are never going to stay in the same space. Like we have no reason to be stagnant with our lives. Like once again, just because we're going through things, and what you need to understand is when it comes to your healing journey, nobody knows what you go through. Like even if you're going through something momentarily, you got to understand as you're meeting people, they're going to come and go. So just because you met somebody in one moment of your life doesn't mean that's your entire life. And you have to understand if you're going through something in that moment, those people, places, and things are only going to teach you certain lessons in your life. That's why I've learned to just move on and not feel any type of way towards anybody. Because one, nobody's going to be able to live forever. And the only reason why I talk about that so much is because I've experienced that, and I've experienced that from grieving with the loss of people that I know personally. Whether they're alive or they're dead, like the more you're able to accept that people are only going to be in your life for certain reasons and seasons, the more you're able to understand, what you need to do with yourself. And the more you internalize and learn and experience those moments instead of being sad and angry and frustrated, you will realize like, okay, like I was in this place because of this, or I was basing my emotions off of this because of this. Like for me, I had a like a one whole 60 because it's not the fact that I was not able to understand. Because to be honest, I'm gonna be real with you guys from experience. The older you get, the wiser you become. Like either you're going to put yourself in situations not willingly, like you may put yourself in situations because you don't know no better, or you're just in a situation because it needs you to grow. And as you're elevating, as you're healing yourself, that's what life is about. It's about growing. And I wouldn't say that growing is uncomfortable. I honestly think growing is very beautiful. It's just growth. It's like imagine a flower. You have to put a lot of dirt on a flower, or creating a diamond. Like we're diamonds, we're flowers, we're very beautiful people inside and out. So it's just like in order for us to genuinely grow, like you have to have a lot of dirt on you. You have to have a lot of pressure on you. You have to have a lot of things going on in your life. Good evening, Ty. Hello, good evening, love, to Kill VCR. Hold on. Hold on, you guys. I'm trying to. Okay. You have to have a lot of dirt. Okay. Better reaction. You guys, I'm trying to add the emojis. But you have to have a lot of dirt on you. You have to have a lot. And honestly, it's not even a lot. If I'm being very honest, life is very simple. And the only reason why I'm saying that with a place of love is because as I've learned to mature and as I've learned to experience life, I just realized it's the choices that we make. And just because you make a choice doesn't mean like it's set in stone. Like once you realize that you're constantly going to make choices every single day in your life and throughout the year, the more you will realize what choices are aligned for you and what works for you. And even if you make a choice, like I want to elaborate that more, even if you make a choice that you consider to be bad, it's really not that bad because we make choices based off of our resources and our knowledge. And me personally, from experience, I've made a lot of choices that could be bad to some people based off of what I knew. And that's why, as I'm looking and as I'm elevating and as I'm changing my perspective and looking at it from a bigger picture, it's not a bad thing. Like, I'm not saying to some people that, the choices that they made cannot be not negative, but if you're looking at it from, like I said, a healing and a loving perspective, you did what you did because of what you knew. And I've realized when you label something good or bad, a lot of people become so content. And you guys know when I used to read from the dictionary, I would read the words from the dictionary to break down the keywords and titles because once you label something, that's the definition. Like that's the purpose of a dictionary. And you guys know supernaturally, I have that type of intelligence. Like that's the purpose of a dictionary is to define words because the words are the letters. So it's like once you label yourself, oh, that's bad, that's good, like the ADHD OC3 1 2 3s, you are now paralyzing yourself. You're now like content with what you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. But in order to evolve, which means to grow, you have to remove the limitations. And that's where I'm at in my life. Like, I am continuing to break down limitations. And another thing, when you move with love, you cannot be afraid. And for those of you, like I said, who understand the assignment spiritually, if you love life or you have your spiritual team, your ancestors, you love God, you can't be afraid. And I understand this is no shade. It says to be afraid of God, but it's not to be afraid to where like you're timid, because I'm not saying that the divines are not real, but to be cautious. Like you have to understand when you do things from experience, like myself, when you do things and it's good or bad, it's based off of what you're feeling. And that's another reason why, too, I've learned to remove limitations, forgive myself, forgive people, and to be patient. That's the most important thing that I'm working on because I used to be very impatient and I'm working on my patience. The more you can be patient, the more you will realize that it's no reason to limit yourself when it comes to your life and when it comes to healing. Because if, like, for example, that's like me, if I limit myself with what I have in front of me, that's why it's so hard for people to see the future because you have to be in the present in order to be in the future. Like, you have to come from somewhere to be like it's a cycle. So, like, in order for you to continue to evolve and to grow, removing the limitations. I agree. Don't fear God, but I think they mean respect. And yes, yes. And that's personally like from experience, I agree as well. Like I just had a conversation with my God literally the other day about that because for those of you who understand, like you said, what's going on in the world, because there's a lot of shifts, it is 2023. Like, you want to respect and be cautious. I wholeheartedly, I definitely agree. I agree. You want to respect. And it's just no like, for those of you who know, like, we're all of us are being watched. We're always being watched. Like the people, I need y'all to hear this because my one of my pastors said this to me the other day. The people that are watching you Who do you think's watching them? Everybody is always being watched, even me. You guys know I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger. And as a messenger, I'm just here to inform and educate the best way I can. But I agree with the QVCR. Like, do not be afraid, but be respectful and be cautious. And that's the same thing. And I'm glad, thank you for saying that. That's confirmation. Like, when you respect yourself and from experience, you don't have to acknowledge that. Like, verbally, I don't have to tell people, oh, I'm respectful. I don't know. My actions, the fruits, the labor will show. And that's the same thing when it comes to your healing. Like, when you're healing yourself, it's going to show. You don't have to go out your way to tell people, "Oh, I'm this." Me personally, I've never been braggadocious or been that type of person because you guys know I don't care. But still, like, it's no need to, like, you gotta understand that it's a bigger perspective. And I wholeheartedly agree. Just learning to respect yourself. That to me, that's one of the most important things when it comes to your healing journey. That's why you really have to just, like I said, continue to be patient with yourself and just respect. Like, that's all. I'm so glad you said it. Like, I'm just so big on respect this year. RESPECT. Respecting yourself. Like, when you respect yourself, people may not agree, people may not even like what you have to say or do, but like one thing about me, I am not somebody that you can disrespect. You may not like what I have to say, you may not agree, and we may not always be eye to eye, but you will, I bet your bottom dollar, if people still say that. You have no choice but to respect me. And that's the same thing with you. If not, people don't have to be in your life. I don't surround myself with people who don't even have respect for themselves. Like I said, when I was young, yeah, because I was naive. And just because I surrounded myself, no, because I had to make sure, because you guys know sometimes like my little screws be missing. So sometimes I gotta, put my little thinking cap on because I'm not illiterate or dumb, you guys. My attention span is very short. So I had to make sure I was spelling it correctly. I bet your bottom. Yes, that's the old folks saying, like, but seriously, like from experience recently, I just turned 26. Like, having respect for yourself, how you carry yourself, the people you surround. And what I realized, when you respect yourself, like, I don't degrade people. Like, I've had to realize as I've evolved and as I'm becoming the lady that I want to be, and as you guys, as rich auntie, as a influencer, whatever, as a person, because that's the T. I'm a person at the end of the day. I don't care about the labels and the titles. I don't care about the money. The shit comes and goes. But as a person, as I've learned to respect myself, because I've always had respect for myself, it's just, you cannot respect people who don't have respect for themselves. But it's not my place to judge people or to speak down or to go against people who don't have the same information, because I'm not any better. Yes, I may not allow myself to be in certain situations or make certain choices, but if for those of you who understand spiritually the assignment, where it's not up to us to judge people. And that's on a mature level. Like, that's how I know I'm really healing. Like, I've never had problem with women, but what I've had to realize, the women that I didn't see eye to eye with, I'm not any better than them. And if you're a real woman, because happy Women's History Month to all my Black women, that's not ladylike. It's not ladylike. And I'm not saying that I don't have a past, you don't have a past, and any of us is perfect. But if you believe in God or your spiritual team, you should be a reflection of that. Very mature. And that's the same thing with men. Like, the people I surrounded myself with, I was around them in a moment, in a season. I'm not angry or have beef with anybody. I shouldn't, like, me personally, you guys know I don't care. So I can't hold a grudge. I can't stay mad. Like I said, I may disagree and I may not like, but for me to say, oh, this person's a bad person, or that, who am I to say? Because I have, you know, I'm not perfect. And you guys know I don't like fake Mother Teresa's. Like, if you're gonna talk about something, make sure you're about it. And you guys know I speak from experience. If not, I don't believe in speaking on things I don't take the time to educate myself on or I've gone through, because everybody's entitled to their opinions. And as you're healing yourself, you can respect, I feel like adults, grown adults, they respect themselves. They're always going to, respect themselves. Like, it's okay to have differences with people. It's okay to have, different experiences. It doesn't make you a good or bad person. And overall, at the end of the day, as you're loving and healing yourself, like I said, it's not nobody's place to me to speak on how other people choose to live their life and what they do and what they're not doing. Because at the end of the day, people too have to learn from themselves. Like, as you're healing yourself, people are going to learn how to do things for themselves. Like, you cannot explain things to people who are not prepared or they're not ready. And when you have the respect for yourself, when you do love yourself, you will realize that it's a time and a place on how you should carry yourself. And as this month continues to heal and go on, like, understand it's a time and a place. I hate the fake Mother Teresa thing. Men do it as well. Yeah, like, I've realized, like, everybody goes through things. And for me, at least, I'm going to just say this: men and women, we both have our problems. And I'm not one of those women who speak on men, but as a woman, as a lady becoming a woman, I've realized with men, they have a lot of emotional issues because they don't vocalize, and I feel like men are naturally competitive. That's just my opinion. I don't know everything. So, like, if they don't express themselves and they are in competition, they have insecurities. So it's easier for them to feel, and men look up to other men. Like, and I wish men, like the real men of this earth, would know that you can't be another man and you can't be a woman. But that takes an individual boy. So, excuse me, boys and girls, and then men and women. Because, like, with men, you guys know I love men. I do love men. I'm never going to talk bad about them. Like I said, I just try to look at it from a bigger perspective. So it's like, to all the men out there, I look up to everybody. I look up to everybody, and I look up to everybody and anybody of value. Yeah, I agree. So if you're a man, if you're a gentleman, which I know you are, be the example. Like, as a young lady, and it's not that we're superior, because we're people at the end of the day, but everybody doesn't have like the same resources. So if you know that you have a certain level of emotion, be the example. Because Michael Jackson, you guys know I love Michael Jackson. You cannot change the world if you don't change yourself. So if you, like, that's what I had to realize. If I want certain people around me to be on the same frequency, because you can't force or change people, I have to do the things that I want for myself. That's how you have relationships with people, genuine relationships with people. You have to be who you want to be in your partners or your coworkers or in your friendships. If you're not that person for yourself, other people around you are not going to be that person. And that's, you guys know, like, that's, I know my purpose. And as you guys are healing yourself, 80% of my teachers were women, and you learn from the best. That's good to hear. Happy Women's History Month, you guys. Happy Women's History Month. And to all the men, and to all the men as well. Did you guys know I am learning to be very mature? I agree. Both men and women. Hello to Sylvia Love. Hello, Miss Sylvia. Hello to Akil and Miss Sylvia Love for showing us love in the chat. I hope you guys are having a great day. I need you guys to know that, like, if you can learn to respect yourself, because that's what I was briefly just talking about, learning to respect yourself, you will see other people will change. And nobody, I need you guys to know, like, from a bigger perspective, like I said, as you're elevating, you have to change your perspective. So as you're elevating, people do not have a personal problem with you. People have internal issues. Once you can process and accept that people have their own internal issues, when people act a certain type of way, it's not towards you. So do not take how they treat themselves personal, but treat how they carry themselves personal. So I'm going to say that slower. Do not take the actions of others personal, because their actions are personal to them. But you take them as a whole, you take that personal. That's when you decide, okay, do I have patience with certain people or do I have to remove myself to see if people want to grow? Because as you respect yourself, you will realize it's not like I said, I don't think that I'm better because I have respect for myself. If anything, as a young lady, you guys know I genuinely have love for myself. So I love everybody around me. It disturbs my peace. It really disturbs my peace to see adults suffer, men or women. Like I said, I will never be one of those ladies that talk down on men because I want a husband. If I want a husband, I can't be speaking bad against men, okay? So I've just learned to, like I said, have respect for myself. And the more you respect yourself, you will realize a lot of people just are lost in the world. And a lot of people may not know God or, their spiritual team or their ancestors. And for the people that don't, believe, because I'm not here to force my beliefs onto people, people just don't know. And a lot of people are just, because they don't know, like when you lack knowledge in certain areas, like I said, that goes back to the limitations. A lot of people are limiting themselves because they may not have the resources. So if you guys have the resources, be the example. Show it's not hard. Like I literally just posted it on my story. Like I could clap for other women. Like I posted so many women. I've never been a hater. I may have not liked everybody. I may not have agreed with people's views in life, but I'm only one person out of 8 billion. Who am I to sit here and say just because I think a certain type of way that everybody that's a sense of entitlement. And just because I think some type of way, you think the world's gonna stop just because of me? I mean, it would be nice. And I'm pretty sure you guys think the same way. Like, don't you think that if the world just evolved around us, the three people that are in the chat right now, it wouldn't be an issue, but we would be lonely as fuck. We would be really like, if you thought you were alone, you would really feel lonely. So you have to understand you cannot control the environment, but you can be a part of it. And the only way for you to continue to be a part of your environment and for your life, for you to elevate and to get to where you need to be, is just do what you need to do. Learn to continue to heal yourself. Learn to be patient with yourself. And just, I'm telling you, respect yourself. When you respect yourself, people have no choice. They have no choice because they're not going to come around you. The best thing I started to do was stop waiting and expecting them to change. I just made the change and remove myself. The right people, good people, godly people will align themselves naturally, no force. Amen. Ashe. Okay. Okay. And that's what I'm learning too. I'm learning, okay? I am learning that as well. I said too. I'm learning that as well. I am learning that as well. I agree. I'm trying to find the smiley face emoji. I agree. And okay, so from experience, because I'm pretty sure you resonate with this, I too used to want other people to be genuine or want genuine intentions, but I had to realize, like you said, if they are a genuine person, you shouldn't have to force that on them. And it's not to say that we don't know that or me or Akil are bad people for thinking that way, but it's like people have to learn things for themselves. And that's what I have like it once again, that's easier said than done. And you guys know, like, I'm not the type of person to be like, you have to. No, it's a process. Everything is meant to be in alignment and will naturally align itself. You gave me advice about this a long time ago, and you were right. That is true. I agree. And we have to learn, like, okay, so for example, just like how I said that to you a long time ago, and I'm saying it now, we have to, I'm no different. I'm no better than you. Like, it's a, you have to learn, like, in order for you, for this is just my perspective, you guys. In order, because you guys know I be trying to break it down. In order for us to receive information, one, we have to be willing to receive the information and we have to be aligned with the information. Because I have definitely agreed, like, there are a lot of people in my life where I would explain things like I'm doing now. And I've realized if I'm a teacher, which you guys know I'm a teacher, doctor, whatever, me telling information to people who may not have the same knowledge, it's not up for me to throw it in their face or for me to be like da 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 da. Like it's me saying this information, and when people are ready to receive it because they want to, that's when it will make sense. And that's something too I'm learning. Like life is a learning experience. That's why I've learned to not label days, like I said, good or bad, to limit myself, to be angry with people. Or I've learned, honestly, I'm learning to be a lot more patient with others. And that's really like I turned 26 a couple of weeks ago, and I've realized it smacked me in the face because, like I said, y'all know spiritually, my ancestors, they whooped my ass on my birthday. They said, sit down and be patient. Because when it comes to life, you can't rush your life. If those of you who understand spiritually, if you say you believe in your most high, do you think you run the world or do you think they run the world? I know I don't run the world. I know I'm just a messenger. And that's when I had to be sat down. Like, y'all don't want the universe, Miss Ma'ams, to sit you down and humble you. You have to be patient in life. And as a kid is expressing himself, things will align when they're supposed to, not by force. And just like him and me, when you have such genuine intentions, it's not the fact that I didn't not already know that, but it's the simple fact that in order for you to process information, you have to first agree to it. And that's why when it comes to our healing, as I'm becoming more fluent with what I'm doing, I have to take my time with people. And that's the same thing with your life. You cannot rush your life. You cannot rush your experiences. And you guys know because I'm very, I guess, transparent. I've never sugarcoated nothing. I'm not sweeping nothing underneath the rug. I'm the type of person, I'm lifting it up. I'm shining the light. And I need you to know that as this month and this year, as you evolve, all of that stuff that's been swept up, if you want to remove yourself and elevate, you have to expose yourself. You have to remove the limitations. Like I said, don't be afraid of your spiritual team. Don't be afraid of God. Be cautious. Don't be sorry, ho. Be careful, y'all. Shout out to Cat Williams. If you guys don't know, he is my favorite comedian. He said that, like, don't be sorry, ho. And I'm not calling y'all hoes, but if y'all seen it, y'all will get it. Like, don't be sorry, ho. Be careful. And if you need to start saying it, don't be sorry. Just be careful. And I'm definitely learning that from myself. Like, as we're learning as young people, because majority of us are young, and even if you're older, because I have all ages of people watching this, don't feel guilty about your life. Okay, so if you guys are in this chat from this day forward for the rest of this month, because it's a new month, do not be guilty about what you've done because it's already happened. And to be honest, you already survived 80% of the worst days of your life. So in order for your life to move forward and in order for you to get, just be patient with yourself and learn to respect yourself. In order for you, I'm telling you guys, you're going to continue to see me grow. And for those of you in the chat, I want to see you all grow. But in order for us to grow, we have to respect ourselves. And what respect is for me may not be respect for you. So don't compare yourself. This month, this year, stop comparing yourself. The reason why you all, for some of you guys, suffer with depression or envy or jealous is because you're comparing yourself. You don't even feel worthy within yourself, and you are. You would not be alive. You would not have survived your trials and tribulations if you weren't worthy. And that's something too, like I've had to experience. We're all worthy. Don't think less of yourself. You don't have what everybody else has. If you were meant to have what everybody else has have, don't you think you would have been experienced the life that you wanted for yourself? And you have to understand if you're like me and you're doing it by yourself, it's going to take some time. And that's what I've learned. That's the beauty of having a strong foundation. I don't want something that's going to be quick because let me tell you something. Kobe Bryant, shout out to him and God bless him. He's somebody that I look up to. And even though I don't know much about basketball, I said Kobe Bean Bryant. I'm naming somebody specific. And you guys know when I speak of people, I speak very highly, and that's for a reason. It's a projection. Something I've learned from him before he passed away was his dedication. He was showing up when people were not showing up. Everybody wants to be first, is the moral of what I'm trying to say, but nobody wants to be last. What I realized, I'm going to be the last woman standing. Okay. Because if you are not the person, because a lot of people fail to realize since everybody wants to be first, if you're not first and you can't sustain that weight, that's like running a track. If you are the first person, that means you the first and the last. I'm not saying the people in the middle don't matter, but the first person who starts the race is the first person for a reason. And the person they have last to end off the race, it's the whole team, is what I'm saying. Like you need the middle, the beginning, and the end. But if you just have that's like a book. If you're just the first couple of pages, the first couple of pages is not the book. We want to be last, you guys. I'm going to be last because turtles, slow and steady, is going to win the race. Somebody who is constantly running and going through stuff, you're going to burn yourself out. There's no reason to rush your like why you're going to die. That's the tea. You guys know I talk about death. That's the tea. I'm getting older. I'm 26, okay? And it's starting to hit me. It's really starting to hit me. Like I'm 26. Then I'm gonna be 30. And I pray I'm able to live for another 26 years of life to be 52. And it's gonna happen. So I'm not trying to look so far ahead that I'm like, okay, I'm not in the moment. Learn to be in the moment is what I'm trying to say. Because I just said a lot. But that's because this is where we are right now. For those of you who are returning and those of you who may be new, learn to just be in the moment. So it's March 1st. I think it may be March 2nd. I don't know. Okay, it's Thursday, so it's March 2nd or wherever, because you guys are all over the place. It's March, is what I'm trying to say. It's Women's History Month. So, all the women, ladies, let me tell y'all something. Smack the jealousy out of your heart. Let it go. Okay? As a woman, you can't be no other woman. And if you really that girl, Miss Ma'ams, you should not want to be comparing yourself to no other woman because you're beautiful in your own way. And men, that's the same thing too. Stop being jealous of boys and stop being jealous of women. If you are going to support me, I don't do jealousy. I don't do it because it don't look good on you. And the reason why your rich auntie has never been a hater is because you can't be beautiful and jealous at the same time. That's like being ugly and having an attitude. We're not doing that. You may not, like I said, you don't have to agree all the time. But one thing, you will be respectful. If you don't want to be respectful, you have to understand people won't be in your life, and you don't have to force people in your life. When you learn to respect yourself, when you learn to have genuine love for yourself, you can't be a hater. That doesn't make sense. And I've always said that. And people will laugh, but he, I'ma really laugh for real. You can't be no hater and be a lover at the same time. Why can't I support another woman? What is me being one individual woman, that means I would have to be comparing myself to her. That means I don't feel worthy. Men and women, we're all worthy people. And if you don't know you're worthy, I'm gonna need you to start looking at yourself and reminding yourself every single day how important you are. Nobody's gonna talk about you like me. I'm a celebrity. I been knew I was a celebrity. I know what I'm doing. People talk about me because I'm a celebrity. That's the same thing with you. Nobody's gonna talk about you. That's like robbing an empty house. Nobody's gonna sit here and speak about you, worry about what you're doing if you weren't who you were. Let's really talk about it. Because as I'm getting older, I'm getting older. And no, everyone doesn't have this mindset. But like I said, the people that genuinely support me, you have no choice but to be on the same frequency, or you won't be in my life. And one thing about me, I'm always get to where I need to be because, like I said, I know what I'm doing. I know who I am. And if you know who you are and you know spiritually, you just a vessel. This isn't like you guys know, I'm always telling you, it's never the time. Why? Because your life is for you to live. You're not going to physically, not spiritually, you're not going to physically come back and be this person. Spiritually, I ain't going to talk about that. That's between you and your ancestors and God. But physically, you're not going to come back and be this person again. I'm not gonna say that you're not gonna come back because y'all know, okay? But you're not gonna come back and live this life the way you did in this lifetime. So do what you need to do now. Learn to be patient with yourself, learn to respect yourself, and do what you need to do so you can get to where you need to be. But be present. Be present. Take your time. No, why are you rushing? It's no need to rush your life. You realize opposite of life is death. So why are you in a rush? There's no reason to rush. Like, take your time. That's how you get things done. That's how you're gonna get to where you need. Like me personally, I take my time. I've always been like that. I don't like to be rushed. If I have to be rushed, I'm the type of person. If you rush me, more than likely I'm not gonna go. I don't care. I don't care who you are. I'm not gonna go if I have to be rushed. Because it's like when you rush things, it's not stable. I forgot the word. We want things to be longevity. We want it to be sustainable. I think that's the word, sustainable. We want it to last. You want your life to last. Like every day is not going to be a bad day. The way you keep your frequency on a high, like your rich auntie, is by practicing and being present and being grateful and understanding that life is about seasons. So if it's winter time, it's going to be the springtime, then it's going to be the summertime, then it's going to be the fall time. Be grateful. Right now, it's the winter time. Oh, it's cold. It's cold. It's only gonna be cold for a little bit. Then y'all gonna be, oh, it's hot. Oh, it's gonna then it's gonna, life is constantly about growth. And you cannot evolve if you're stuck in a season. Understand that it's okay, like I said, to make choices. Once you learn what choices have affected you, whether you think they're good or bad, evaluate them, process them, accept them, and keep it moving. You don't have to limit yourself. You don't have to have beef with people that you outgrow. You don't have to be angry or miserable or be mad at people that are not like me personally. I love everybody. Just because I don't surround myself with people, places, and things, or I don't associate myself with people, places, and things, doesn't mean that I'm any better or any less than, or that I'm angry. No, I don't. I honestly, I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for every single person in my life because what a lot of people fail to realize, like I said, if y'all spiritually understand the assignment, everybody's supposed to teach you something. Everybody, everybody, because nobody is meant to be in your life forever. And the reason why I talk about that so much, you guys could tell, like I've been through a lot. Like that's life. And as someone who has always been like transparent, because you guys know I don't like that word transparent. It's just like, bruh, tell the truth. Y'all are scary. And that's the only reason why I don't like that word transparent, because it's just like tell the truth. Like I used to do bad stuff when I was a child. And I understand everyone's not me, but it's just like eventually, if it don't click, it's gonna stick. And if it stick, you're gonna feel some type of way. It doesn't make sense to keep going through the same things and wondering why you're not experiencing a certain outcome. Like that's insanity. And I'm not saying that just to say it because it sounds good. That's the tea. That's the truth. That's a lot. That's the only reason why people are I don't even like to say bitter or miserable no more because people are not bitter and miserable. I mean, people can act like that. Don't get it twisted. But like I said, the judgment, I've never been the type of person to judge people because I understand people go through things. But like I said, as an adult, as a real young lady, it's just like, this is deep. And you guys know, like, young lady or old lady or it just, get somebody else to do it. I don't have the patience. If I never had patience, why do you think as an adult I'm gonna have patience? Now, of course, as an adult, I have to understand that I do need patience in life in order to have things to last, in order for me to get to where I need to be. But it's a privilege to be patient now. Don't get it twisted. I need y'all to know that what you do, who you are, it's a privilege. Everybody don't have to be in your face. And when you support yourself, because you guys know I'm Miss INDEPENDE. When you support yourself, I don't need nobody. I never did. That's why I'm getting to where I need to be because of me. And I need you to know that when you support yourself, you respect yourself, you gonna get there regardless. And the people that's meant to clap for you and be there, they gonna be there regardless. But you have to put yourself in position. You can't expect something if you're not doing anything or taking the time and energy to receive it. And the most important thing that I've learned, and same thing with the kill, speaking in his comments, is that you have to be you have to be open to receive information. And you have to be ready. That's the only reason why a lot of things are not happening in people's lives is because they're not taking the time, and I'm guilty of this. I had to learn how to be ready. I've always been open, like, speaking from experience, but you have to be ready. It's not to say that you can't achieve your goals or that you can't do what you need to do, but if you don't even expect it, that's like a package, and that's why I use what I think, what is it? Analogies? I think that's the word. Let me look it up because y'all know. I think it's analogies. Analogies. You guys know I be using analogies. Is that the word? It's a comparison between two things typically. Okay, yeah, I had to look up. You guys know that's why I use analogies all the time because if you are supposed to receive a package in the mail and you're not prepared to be at your house or wherever you need it to be shipped, why do you think you're going to get the package? Especially if you didn't even put in, the details. That's what I'm saying. You have to be open and you have to be ready. That's the same thing when it comes to your healing. In order for you to continue to love yourself and to heal yourself, you have to learn to accept your past and you have to accept yourself. That comes with respecting. Like, respect to me could be anything. You guys know when it comes to words, it's just a label. But if I had to be specific and technical, respect yourself. I'm telling you, respect goes a long way. And it shows. It is going to show. It's going to be visible. And people being triggered, one thing about me, I don't care who's triggered. I've never cared about people being triggered by me because guess what? That's personal. That's a personal issue. People having personal, like I said, don't take people's personal actions personal towards you, but how they carry themselves, that's what you take personal. And hopefully that makes sense to you guys. If not, I can break that down. But how other people carry themselves, that has nothing to do with us. Because if they have respect for themselves, how other people live their life is on them anyways. So you don't have to force anybody to understand. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be disrespectful, but just respect yourself and just continue to be patient with yourself. Like, that's honestly what I just want to say in this video for this time and for the rest of this month, because I won't be on here as much. Like I said, I have a business in real life that I'm running and just how I choose to carry myself. But when I do come on here, because I've been making these videos, like I said, for the long term, for those of you who are already aware, like, just be patient is really honestly what I was really talking about this entire time. Like, if you were here in the beginning or if you jumped in and out the chat and once this video is upload, that's the main thing that I've been saying is really just to be patient and be grateful. Like, and I'm saying that in the moment as it's now. I thought it was March 1st. It's already March 2nd. And you guys know I'm always talking about how Monday through Friday, Saturday through Sunday, December through January does not change. But what changes the year? It's already March 2nd. It was just March 1st a couple seconds ago. And I need you to know that, like, time is constantly gonna go on. Regardless if I'm here, regardless of the people that are in the chat right now are here or not. And I don't say that to frighten you all. I need you to know that when you really learn to love, and if you spiritually you connected, what are you afraid of? And I really need you to start asking yourself that. And that's the same thing for me. You guys know I take the advice. What are you afraid of? You should not be afraid of nothing on this earth. Because one, like I said, spiritually, if y'all know how it's set up, things are gonna happen regardless. That's why I'm telling you all to be open and be prepared. So when things do happen, it's not a surprise. The only thing now, I'm just gonna say this because spirit, my spidey senses is tingling. I'm gonna give y'all a little gem for those of you who are spiritual. The only thing that you need to be afraid, or not even afraid, but the only thing that's gonna give you chills is the actual Holy Spirit, the supernatural. Is when supernaturally the shift happens. And for those of you who know, the shift is